Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a teen charged with complicity in a shooting incident in Floyd County appeared in court. And a man faces charges after authorities say he threatened to kill a postal worker and deputies.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this August 12th. It is 5:32 this morning and time for a check of our weather with Megan Dusmal. We've had a lot of that fog as well recently, Megan. I think the most shocking part is that it happens in broad daylight too.
It does, but we're very fortunate that today is not one of those foggy days. Now, you could experience some haze, but for the most part, we're on a little bit of a calm trend this morning, not only in terms of fog, but also those temperatures. Here's a look at what we are expecting out the door, mainly a mixture of those mid to upper 60s and low 70s, with the exception of Monticello, which is a little bit warmer than everyone else, 76 degrees this morning. This afternoon, though, we're looking at a mixture of the upper 80s, but you'll notice warmer temperatures the farther north you drive, 90 degrees in Moorhead. Now, in terms of that rain, I know I kind of mentioned that earlier, but we do have some typical scattered showers as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, but the rain will return, especially tonight, continuing into your Wednesday morning. Here's a breakdown of the day. We're looking at those partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. High temperatures around 3 p.m. Amelia.
The Boyd County Detention Center announced on Facebook Sunday that one of their deputies is now recovering after a medically induced coma. The Boyd County jailer says it was due to substance exposure while doing routine intake at the jail. He was hospitalized and suffered respiratory failure but was then resuscitated. The substance in question is still being tested at a state laboratory. A Floyd County teen charged with complicity in a shooting incident appeared in court yesterday. Police say 19-year-old Weston Harris turned himself in last week after an investigation into an incident where two people shot at cars on US 23 near the Bull Creek Trade Center. Harris was arrested and appeared in court yesterday for his arraignment, where he entered a not guilty plea before his attorney asked for a bond reduction and waived the upcoming preliminary hearing, sending the case directly before a grand jury. County Attorney Keith Bartley says his office is opposed to lowering the bond, saying the current charges of complicity to wanton endangerment and criminal mischief are serious offenses, and he expects more charges will be brought forward.
Weston Harris here today charged with complicity or aiding in these multiple shootings. But as I said, since those charges were done, the police department have gathered information that leads us to believe that Mr. Harris engaged in the shootings just the same as the juvenile.
Harris is currently being held at the Floyd County Detention Center on a $100,000 cash bond. Judge Tyler Green is allowing the prosecutors to respond to the bond motion before making a ruling. Well, the search continues for a missing 10-year-old out of Breathitt County. Police say his family last saw him as he went to bed Tuesday night, and by Wednesday morning, he was gone. Now the search includes a Kentucky state senator. Amber Philpott sat down with Senator Brandon Smith about the ongoing efforts to bring this little boy home.
It has been nearly a week and no one in the Panbowl Branch Road area of Breathitt County has seen Jaden Spicer.
I know it's tough for me because I have little ones.
State Senator Brandon Smith is one of several searching for the little boy missing in an area he represents.
Jaden.
Senator Smith sharing new videos with us of some of the places he spent Sunday searching for the little boy, looking through rundown and abandoned homes.
When you call into a house and you're calling this little boy's name, Jaden, and you're looking and you're not sure what you're going to find.
It is heartbreaking work looking through trash piles and hoping to find any clue, Senator Smith says, as to where Jaden might be. His search included dump sites off the beaten path.
I do think people need to see that so that they don't go back to those sites. I've already been through those garbage piles. I've flipped that stuff over. I've gone in those cellars and those empty houses.
Smith says for those thinking of joining the search, make sure you stay vigilant.
Listen, because it could just be a faint voice of somebody crying, I'm here. So be aware, be careful, don't get on people's property. Be sure that if you run into something of significance that you go to the proper authorities.
Smith praised the work of the Kentucky State Police and their efforts. He says he's not talked with Jaden's family, but wants them to know he will continue searching.
Jaden.
And he can't imagine what they're going through.
We're going to continue to search for this little guy and get him home.
Spicer was last seen wearing Sonic the Hedgehog pajamas. He's about 5 feet tall. His father, Jim, is offering a $1,500 reward for anyone who helps with his return. There's also a GoFundMe that Jaden's aunt started, raising money to add to that cash reward. $2,100 has been raised on there. Well, for context, the National Center for Missing and Endangered Children says just under 30,000 kids were reported missing in the United States last year. The NCMEC says 218 kids were reported missing in Kentucky last year. About 85% of those cases were resolved, 6 points below the national average. Anybody with information about Jaden Spicer's case should call KSP. In Floyd County, a man faces charges after authorities say he threatened to kill a postal worker and deputies. The sheriff's office says Jonathan Howell made the threats both in person and on social media. Deputies say it started Friday when Howell's vehicle was blocking spaces at the Oxer post office. He's accused of becoming irate and making violent threats against the worker.
When he does come, he's irate, cussing and threatening to burn the postal worker's house down. Making threats to do other things. So that quickly got out of hand.
Howell was arrested Saturday and is charged with 2 counts of terroristic threatening and resisting arrest. On Friday, Congressman Andy Barr was in Perry County as he campaigns for U.S. Senate. Barr spoke at an event for primary care centers of Eastern Kentucky and also stopped by the station for a taping of Issues and Answers. We discussed a variety of those topics, including President Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. Barr shared what he thought made that bill so beautiful.
Think of all the overtime that our sheriff's offices and our paramedics put in. Think of the overtime at the factories that people put in. No tax on overtime, no tax for those hardworking third shift waitresses and waiters at our restaurants. You tip those hardworking folks, they get no tax on that. That is a promise made and a promise kept by this president.
Barr is hoping to get President Donald Trump's endorsement in the U.S. Senate race. We also asked him about concerns about Medicaid cuts in the big, beautiful bill. That full Issues and Answers interview can be found on our website, WYMT.com. The 2025 Shaping Our Appalachian Region, or SOAR Summit, is 2 weeks from today. The event will be hosted for 4 days in Corbin. That's August 26th through the 29th. Executive Director Colby Hall says there's an exciting group of speakers and sessions lined up.
We have really influential, high-powered, hardworking, caring people that show up at this event that really are trying to figure out a way to leverage their gifts and talents and resources to help this region in any way, shape, or form.
Well, tickets can be purchased for different days, or you can get a complete pass with full access. And we've got more information on our website, WYMT.com. Well, all regional driver's license appointments were canceled yesterday due to a statewide system outage. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says it will notify people whose appointments were canceled about when they can reschedule. A social media post also says appointment holders and walk-ins were given renewal forms, passes to return for expedited service, or codes to renew online. The post did not address the status of the system for today. Well, UK's Markey Cancer Center showcases advanced surgical equipment that enables same-day lung cancer diagnosis and treatment. Inside this trailer are 2 sets of robots that allow doctors to biopsy lung nodules and remove tumors in one session. Markey Cancer Center began the combined procedure earlier this year. It closes the gap in lung cancer care as patients usually have to wait weeks or months between diagnosis and surgery. Lung cancer doctors emphasize early detection and screening for smokers.
If you're between the ages of 50 and 80, and you have smoked a pack a day for 20 years, and you can have quit, but less than 15 years. If you're still a current smoker, the first step is to get screened.
Well, experts say Kentucky has the highest incidence of lung cancer anywhere in the country. Contributing factors include high rates of smoking, high levels of radon in the ground, and coal miners with black lung disease. Well, you can expect another cold and snowy winter. That's according to the Farmer's Almanac newest edition, which is out now. It forecasts this upcoming winter season won't be quite as bone-chilling as last year. The Farmer's Almanac's editor says to expect more of an average, old-fashioned winter. The Almanac predicts winter weather could stick around through April. By the way, if you're hoping for a white Christmas, the best chance of that happening is in the northern plains. It's 5:42. An animated horror comedy from Rick and Morty writer Matt Roller is coming soon to Netflix. That and more in today's IN Entertainment Report.
And we're seeing chances for low 90s again today.